surprising set of developments coming from two countries, India and China. The two nations have already been making headlines for their strained relations due to the ongoing border altercations. Now, in an interesting turn of events, China has asked the last Indian journalist to leave the country. Meanwhile, the Indian government has charted new rules for Chinese smartphone manufacturers operating in India. How will this affect trade ties? How will this affect India-China ties? Let's take a look. The ongoing tensions between India and China have been a cause of concern for both the nations. The move to ask the last Indian journalist to leave China is likely to further escalate the already tense relations between the two nations. On the other hand, Chinese mobile companies in India have been directed to follow strict rules by the Indian government if they want to continue doing business in the country. These companies have been asked to include Indian equity partners in their local operations. Now, here are some key takeaways from the situation. The last Indian journalist in China has been asked to leave the country, which will wipe India's media presence from the world's second largest economy at a moment of deteriorating ties. As of earlier this year, Indian media outlets had 4 reporters in China. 2 of them were denied visa renewals in April. Another one came to India on June 11 as his visa expired, and the last one will return this month. The move to ask the last journalist to leave China is seen as a retaliation to India's decision to expel Chinese journalists last year. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi had on June 2 even gone out to say that Indian journalists have been operating with certain difficulties, such as not being permitted to hire locals as correspondents or journalists. They also face several restrictions while getting access and traveling within China. The new rules for Chinese mobile companies is aimed at reducing China's influence in India's smartphone market, which is dominated by Chinese brands. However, experts believe that this move could lead to Chinese smartphone companies exiting India amid the government crackdown. The new rules for Chinese smartphone manufacturers can have a significant impact on trade ties between the two nations. The strained border dispute between China and India has been a long-standing issue, and the recent developments have only added to the tensions. Lately, both the sides have increasingly militarized the borders. They've shown no indication of backing down. The situation remains tense. The question is, what lies ahead?